Today I'm going to talk about three generations of Phantom quadcopters. On the left is a Phantom 2, in the middle is a Phantom 3 Advanced, and on the right is a Phantom 4 Pro. The Phantom 2 and the Phantom 3 I bought used, and the Phantom 4 I bought new. We'll start out watching a couple video clips of the Phantom 2 and the Phantom 3. But I've only flown the Phantom 4 a couple times, so I really don't have any crashes to show you on that. Thank goodness. The first GPS capable quadcopter I bought was this DJI Phantom 2. I bought it used from B&H Photo. And probably the most difficult thing of flying this was keeping your orientation. As you flew further away, it was hard to tell which direction the quadcopter was pointed. The first video camera I put on there, I bought the little Mobius camera, which is the little black thing to the left that's sticking up, and I just velcroed that to the bottom. I crashed this thing so many times I didn't want to put my GoPro on there for fear of breaking it. I always kept a large stock of props on hand, so when I crashed it I could just replace the prop. It actually was a very durable quadcopter for as many times as I crashed it. Towards the end I did mount the GoPro on for the last few flights, and as you can see I didn't destroy it, so that was a good thing. Now about the only time I fly this thing is I use it to fly Christmas tree lights on top of a tree outside. We'll watch a few videos of some crashes I had with this thing. And the first video we're going to watch, I was trying to learn how to fly this thing in an area that had some trees in it. And I was going to try to fly around some trees, and as you can see it didn't turn out real well. I ended up trimming one of them. In this video I was flying at the mall early in the morning in an empty spot of the parking lot, and I was flying without a GPS lock, so as I went up into the air I kind of got up to road level, and there was a pretty stiff breeze, and so I decided to bring the thing back and land it. Little did I know I had gloves on, and one of my gloves was touching one of the sticks on the controller. And so it looked like the thing was out of control, but here I was actually had my finger on the stick and was moving it, and I didn't know. And the end results turned out not real good. video, I was flying by the lake and kind of lost orientation, so I decided to go up in the air so I knew I wouldn't hit any trees. But as you can see, things went bad pretty fast and I ended up crashing it almost into the lake. In the next video, I was flying it outside and things just didn't go so well. The next quadcopter I bought was a Phantom 3 Advanced, and I bought that used from B&H Photo. That came with a camera mounted to it, and one of the big advantages to the Phantom 3 was on the controller you could mount a tablet or a phone and you could actually see what the camera was seeing. So as you were flying, you got a good picture of what was happening up in the air, and what that did is that eliminated a lot of the crashes. For as long as I've owned this, I've only crashed it 3 times, and that was all operator error. When going from the Phantom 2 to the Phantom 3, probably one of the most difficult things was looking into your tablet as you were flying and trusting what you were seeing. Before, I'd always watched the quadcopter as it was flying. But now I wasn't watching the quadcopter, I was watching the video that the quadcopter was sending back. Once I got used to that though, things went really well as far as flying goes. In the video that we're going to watch now, I was in Duluth, Minnesota, and decided to go to the top of the hill, fly up in the air and get a good look at the Duluth Harbor there. I thought it would be a very scenic shot. And so I went to the top of the hill, and little did I know, behind the building where I was going to take off, there was about, I would say a dozen large antennas. So the minute this thing took off, it did a flip and drove itself wide open into the ground. The quadcopter would not respond to any control commands from the controller. And so what I ended up doing is sneaking my hand up and shutting the power off in the battery, and finally the thing stopped. In this video, I had just flown over Dell's Pond. It was just a beautiful flight. And I was coming back, I was going to land, and I came down pretty close to a tree. So instead of going back up in the air like I should have and moving over, I decided to move over at tree level and push the stick the wrong way. The quadcopter got hung up in a tree, so I ended up climbing about 12 feet up into a tree, and I had to shake the branch to get the thing out. And once it fell out, it started cartwheeling down the hill towards the lake, and I thought sure I was going to be fishing it out of the water, but it just happened to flip on its top and stopped. In this video I was flying at home and I decided to do a little stunt flying, which was a bad idea. So I got flying at a higher rate of speed and I was going to come up to a tree and then climb really fast. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. I flew right into the tree and it wasn't too bad till the quadcopter hit the road. Surprisingly, none of the props were broke. But I bent the arm and the shell, so I ended up replacing the shell, and then I just replaced all 4 props as a precaution also. And the last Phantom I want to talk about is the Phantom 4 Pro. I just got this yesterday and flew it a couple times. Fortunately, I don't have any crash videos to show. I guess some of the first thoughts I have flying this thing. One of probably the things I'm not real fond of is the tap to focus. I wish they had a choice where you could either have an autofocus or choose to tap to focus. That would be nice if a person had a choice. I imagine once you fly it for a while it'll just become old habit to do that, but right now it seems like I just forget to tap to focus. I guess another thing that was a little bit different was the application. When first setting this up here on my Samsung tablet, some of the screens had Chinese on the screens, and the actual buttons to press were written in Chinese. The upgrading seemed to take much longer than it should have. I kind of went back and forth in the screens until the upgrading finally took hold. The other thing I didn't like is as I was flying I kept getting the high wind warning. And I'd flown in winds like that before without any problems, and it keeps popping up on the screen, fly cautiously, fly cautiously. Well, I wish I could turn that off. The other thing I noticed that I hadn't heard too much, and it really makes sense, it's not really a fault, is your collision avoidance when flying at night does not work. And the reason that is because it can't see anything. You know, when you're flying and it's dark, there's nothing for the cameras to focus on, and so if you fly at night, your collision avoidance will not work. On the good side, the Phantom 4 Pro flies very well. It's very stable. I have no complaints in that area there. It seems like they do nothing but get better as time goes on. The other thing I'll have to say is the camera is amazing. I can't believe the video that I'm seeing as clear as it is. I'm very impressed so far. I think given a little time for the software to mature on this thing, this is going to be an amazing quadcopter.